Let me say something that might annoy you. You don't have a money problem. I've seen people make $2,000 a week and be broke. I've seen people make $700 and build wealth. Same economy, same cost of living, completely different results. So what's the difference? It's not intelligence, it's not luck, it's habit. James Clear says you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. I just finished reading a great book by James Clear, Atomic Habits. And honestly, this book explains why most people stay financially stuck. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because they're trying to change their life without ever changing the small things they do every single day that makes the biggest difference. So most people are waiting for a big breakthrough, that big moment, a pay rise, a relative to give them an inheritance that changes their life, a better job, more money, all these things that are external. But your life doesn't change with these big changes, external factors. It changes from an internal factor. Small decisions that you make daily, repeated habits that can change your lives. And if your daily habits are off, even slightly, your money will always be off. So in this video, I'm going to break down the core ideas from Atomic Habits and show you how to use them and to give you control over your money and build real financial discipline. And finally, start moving forwards. Okay, the real problem. Most people think their problem is money. They think if I just earn more, I'd be fine. If I had a better job, everything would change. If someone just gave me some money, maybe I could finally get ahead. But that's actually not true, because if you had more money, it wouldn't fix your money problems. It would just expand them. And then every high income earner would be wealthy, right? But we know that's not true. There's people struggling that earn plenty of money. And we both know that that's definitely not the case. There are people making really good money, still living paycheck to paycheck, still stressed, still broke at the end of the month. Why? Because income doesn't fix your problems. It just amplifies your current habits. If you're bad with $500 a week, you're going to be bad with $5,000 a week. You just make bigger mistakes with bigger numbers. And here's where Atomic Habits hits really hard, hits home. James Clear says you don't rise to the level of your goals, right? Our goal could be whatever. You fall to the level of your systems. What systems do you have right now? What systems are you building? That's a real challenge for me. It must be a challenge for you too. Let me put that in real life. You can have a good goal to save money. You can have a good goal to get out of debt. You can have a good goal to invest one day. But if you have a system, a way of doing things, a systematic approach to how you're going to manage your money, you spend first and you think later. No, you plan. You have a reason. You give money a purpose. You assign it to something. You track it. You structure it. And then you will see results through that system, not from your goals, but your system is perfectly designed to give you the results that you're currently getting. Let me say that again. Your current system is giving you the perfect results to give you the outcomes that you're getting right now. So if you keep ending up broke at the end of the month, that's not luck. That's the system. That's the thing you're putting in place isn't working. Your habits, the system, the way you think about it. So two people can earn the exact same income. One builds wealth over time and one stays stuck. The difference is not what they earn, it's what they do with it. It's consistency, what they do every day. Small decisions, day in, day out. Do I spend this or do I save this? Do I track this or do I ignore it? Do I plan for this or just see how it goes, see what may? Small decisions don't feel like much in the moment, but over time, they can build your financial life. So before you earn more, before you chase another opportunity, you need to ask yourself a better question. What system am I running right now? Do I need to upgrade? Am I on the old iOS on my phone and it's starting to get clunky and slow and I need to upgrade it? Otherwise, nothing will change. Now, this is where most people get it wrong. They try to change their situation without ever changing who they believe they are. They focus on outcomes. I want to save more. I want to get out of debt. I want to build wealth. But those are just results. But those and results don't last. If your identity is the same, it won't matter. See, there are three levels to change. The first level is outcomes. That's what you get. That's the result, right? The second is the process. That's what you do. But the deepest level is your identity. And that's who you are. That's who you believe you are. If you believe you're an entrepreneur, if you believe you're an investor, if you believe someone that can build wealth, you will go out and do it. And that's what God talks about. He says, right at the beginning in Genesis, he says, be fruitful, multiply. The implied verb is do multiply, and then you will have dominion. Do multiply, do subdue, do trample over, and have dominion. Being is the most important thing we can work on. Who we are, who is our identity, who do we believe we are? I believe you are someone that's going to build financial wealth. You are going to leave an inheritance to your children's children. Let me show you what I mean. If someone sees themselves as, I'm just bad with money, what are they going to do about it? They'll avoid budgeting. They'll avoid tracking. They'll just spend whenever they think it's good to spend. Why? Because their behavior matches their identity. But if someone believes, I'm the type of person who has control of my money, I'm the type of person that's going to build wealth for my family, for my children, for my children's children. Now, that changes everything. You don't need motivation. You act differently because of who you are. You track things, you plan, you budget, you think before you spend. Same person, but different identity, completely different lives. And here's the part that most people miss. Their identity isn't something you're born with. It's something you can build over time, every single day, through your actions. This is what James Clear says in his book. Every action you take is a vote for what type of person you want to become. That's incredible. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So every time you save money, you are putting in a vote for that type of person. Every time you stick to a plan, you're adding to the tally of that identity. You say no to something, you're adding to the tally, you're adding to the vote, you're making that more purposeful in your life. But on the flip side, every time you ignore more things, get another loan for no reason, just spend willy-nilly, impulsive, avoid your finances, you're adding to a vote for the other identity, the other person. You're building that identity up. So which one do you want to be? The choice is in your hands. Am I bad with money or am I good with money? Am I someone that just spends willy-nilly, or do I spend sparingly and invest and build my life, build wealth? Because if you're trying to build wealth, you want to build that identity. So if you actually want to move forward financially, don't start with your money, start with your identity. Start by telling yourself, I am someone who is disciplined with money. I am someone that thinks long term, not just the short term. I won't sacrifice the long term on the altar of the short term. I'll do the opposite. I am someone that wants to build wealth, and then prove it. Live it out. Small actions every day. Because once your identity changes, your habits flow. And once your habits change, your life changes. All right, so if your habits are the thing that's driving your life, the next question is, how do habits actually work? Because once you understand this, you stop feeling out of control and you start seeing the pattern. And James Clear breaks it down simply. 4 simple things. Ready? He says, there's 4 simple steps. Number 1 is cue, and we'll go through these. Craving, response, and reward. So every habit you have, good or bad, follows this exact same loop. It's a circle, right? So you start here at cue, you go to craving, you go to response, reward, and then you come back. So let me show you how it actually works with money. So it's been a long day, you're tired, you're stressed. That's the cue, right? Now your brain wants relief. That's the craving. All right, so we're here. Cue, you're tired, you're stressed. Your brain wants relief. That's a craving. So you jump on your phone and you start to scroll. That's your response. And you want to order Uber Eats. And the moment it feels good, that's the reward. Right? Does that make sense? Pretty straightforward. Okay. But the problem is that the reward trains your brain to repeat the habit. So if you go back and you say, oh, I'm stressed. Well, last time I'm stressed, my brain wanted relief. So my sponsor was to grab my phone and then order Uber Eats. That was rewarding. So now every time I feel stressed over a long day, I want to automatically jump through these and go straight to the order the Uber Eats. And that starts to build the same pattern over and over again. So next time you feel stressed, you bang, order Uber Eats. So you're stuck in a loop and you start draining your money without even thinking about it. And here's where the power comes in. Because if you understand the loop, you can change it. You can interject. You don't need willpower anymore. You just need a better system. So let's fill the example. Cue, you get paid. Craving, you want progress. You want stability. You want control. So response is you automatically put money into savings or investing. And reward is your account, your investment starts to grow. So same brain, same system, but different result. Does that make sense? And this is the shift. Why we're not trying to eliminate habits, that's impossible, right? We all have habits. We all put the same shoe on first every day without even thinking about it. You need to start training them and helping them build your life. So you can replace bad ones with better ones. Instead of spend, feel better, repeat, you can build save, see progress, feel in control, repeat over time. And the loop automatically starts to grow, right? You don't have to think about it. It's not forced, it's just a habit. It becomes who you are, exactly what we were talking about before, right? And this is why some people make managing money look easy. It's not because they're more disciplined, it's because they're trained, better habits, so it's easy for them. They don't have to think about it. It's not a question. This is who I am. I'm not bad with money. I'm good with money. And we need to ask better questions. Why am I so bad with money? That's starting to talk to my identity without even talking to it. You're talking to yourself going, why am I, right? You're giving yourself so bad with money. You're telling yourself you would. Make a better question. What loop am I running right now that'll grow my money? Because once you start that loop, you can start to change. All right. So you understand the loop, right? So the next step is, how do you actually change your habits? Because knowing the problem isn't just enough. You need a system, right? And this is where Atomic Habits give you one of the most powerful frames to look. Okay, the 4 laws of behavior change. All right. So he goes into this. I'm just going to summarize it super quickly. So this is for good habits and to help you break one. Let's walk through them. I'm going to show you. Ready? Make it one. Oops, sorry. Make it obvious. All right, that's number 1. Make it obvious. Make it obvious. If a habit is out of sight, it's out of mind. So some people struggle with money because they don't see it. They don't check their accounts. They don't track their spending. They don't have a clear plan of what they should be doing with it. So their money just disappears. Not because they're stupid, but because their environment is not set up for them to win. So instead of relying on willpower, make it obvious. Set an automatic transfer on payday, as I said before. Have separate accounts for spending, savings, investment, bills, and check it daily, weekly. Track it. Make it visible. Make it one of the first apps you open up. Because when you see it, your money, it's not hidden. It's not forgotten about. Okay. Number 2. Make it attractive. All right. Your brain is wired to chase what feels good. So managing money, if it feels boring or restrictive, you're not gonna stick to it. So make it attractive. Turn it into something you actually enjoy. Track your progress. Watch your savings grow. Set goals that excite you. Pair money habits with something you like. Maybe review your finances with a coffee you enjoy, or listen to a podcast while you do it. It sounds simple, but when it's enjoyable, it feels good. And the more consistent you become. Okay, ready? Number 3. Hopefully these are real helpful, guys, for your finances. Make it easy. This is where most people mess up. They try to go from 0 to perfect overnight. Full budget, no spending, no tracking. Track everything. Don't track everything. And then in 3 days, it's too hard. So instead, make it easy. Start small. Save $10 instead of 1,000, right? Just make it easy. Once you have set a goal that's really easy, really attainable, really something that you can achieve, because once you go, oh wow, that was easy, I achieved it. So if you set the bar low, right, you go, oh cool, I've got a win on the board. So track one category instead of everything. Do a 5-minute money check-in instead of an hour. He talks about a 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should be less than 2 minutes, because if it's more than 2 minutes, you're not going to do it. So make it easy. Set it easy so you can really get into it. Beats having to do everything and then you're quitting, right? Once you start to do it consistently over time and you start becoming the person that can save $10 every single week, oh, that was easy. Now I can save 15. Oh, look at that. Now I'll save 50. Now I'll save 100. Now I'll save 1,000. You can start to build it over time. You turn your small wins into big ones over time. Okay, and the last one is number 4. Make it satisfying. Here's the truth. If a habit doesn't feel rewarding, you won't keep it. And this is where people quit budgeting, quit saving, quit investing, because the result feels invisible in the beginning. So you need to make it satisfying right now. Track your wins, celebrate it, watch the numbers grow, even if it's small, because your brain needs feedback. It needs something to feel good about. Ever seen someone put in the pokies? The numbers go off. It goes ding, ding, ding. They win. The lights shine up. It's all these things that feed back and go, oh, we did a good job, brain. And this is working. This is giving you, this is feeding your brain. Now, here's the big idea. If you want to build good money habits, make them obvious, make them attractive, make them easy, make them satisfying. And if you want to break bad ones, do the flip, right? What's obvious, make it invisible, hide it, make it unattractive, make it hard to do, and make it unsatisfactory. He gave some great examples in his book. He said, if you want to stop watching TV, unplug it and put it in the cupboard, right? Well, then you really think about it, right? Or take the batteries out of the remote and put them somewhere else in the room, in a drawer. So then when instead of just you sit down on the couch and put on the TV, you actually have to do something, and it's putting a barrier there to make that habit harder to do. So if you really want to do it, then you'll do it. But it's trying to help you to that flip it, right? Make it hard, make it unattractive, make it invisible. This is not about discipline. This is about designing a life that can help you, where your choices are easier and the wrong ones are harder. And when you do that, everything starts to change. Okay, now if you understand everything I've just said, there's still one reason most people don't follow through, and this is the part that frustrates people the most. You don't see results straight away. You start budgeting, and nothing changes. You start saving, and it still feels small. You start being more disciplined, and your life doesn't look any different. So what do most people do? They quit. They give up. Think about it. When you start a diet, do you still feel better, worse, or do you feel better or worse first? You feel worse. Your body goes into shock and goes, where's all this sugar that I was having? When you go to the gym, you start going to the gym, you haven't been to the gym for 5 years, you start going to the gym, what does your body feel? You go, whoa, what are you doing to my body? It starts to hurt, it's painful, right? It doesn't feel good straight away. And it's the bad habits. You've got to get rid of the bad habits because it feels like it's not working. There's something called the plateau of potential, and it basically means the results are building and you can't see them yet. It's like an ice cube in a cold room. The temperature starts to go from -5 to -4 to -3, -2, right? And when it starts to drop and when it starts to rise, or nothing happens. But once it starts to go to 0 or 1, it starts to melt. So you don't see the change straight away, but when you hit that tipping point, then that's when this truth comes in, right? So keep working at it, because one day that diet will feel easier. One day that gym habit will become easier, and it'll start to surface, and you'll start to feel momentum. So let me leave you with this. Your life doesn't change with one big moment. Everyone thinks it's one big moment, but it's small decisions every single day, repeatable decisions. And it's especially true for your money. Your money doesn't improve because you earn more. It improves because you build better habits. And you can start right today, start right now. And you can shape your identity, who you are, who you believe you are. So if you take anything from this video, let this be it. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to change something. Start being consistent somewhere, because if you can fix your habits, you can fix your money. If you can fix your money, you can fix your future. So let me leave you something. What's one habit that's holding you back right now? Drop it in the comments, let me know. Because if you're serious about taking control of your money, you can start today. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.